Hi friends, I'm again here for you with the C# interview questions and answers. This is the second part of the series. As I told you, I will continue with the series. So this is the part 2. Let's get started. What is method overloading in C#? Now, method overloading, a class to have multiple methods with the same name but with a different signature. So in C#, functions can be overloaded based on the number, type and kind of parameters. The signature of a method consists of the name of the method and the type. The signature of a method does not include the return type and the param modifier. So it is not possible to overload a method just based on the return type and param modifier. So here is an example for you in which we have the method name with method where different variables are passing. For in first part here is x is going to pass, in second there is x and y variable are passing, and in third one x, y and z. Method name is going to be the same but number, type and order of parameter is different here. Then come the question, what is the method overriding? In object-oriented programming, method overriding is a language feature that allows a subclass to provide a specific implementation of a method that is already provided by one of its superclass. The implementation of subclass overridden the implementation of superclass method. So the overridden method is always executed from the object whose object is stored in the reference variable. The superclass method is called the overridden method and the subclass method is called the overriding method. Here is example of two classes with name animal and dog, in which animal is the parent class and dog is the subclass, in which move is the method which is repeating in both the classes, where move is overridden method in parent class and move is overriding method in subclass, that is dog. Now next question comes, what is interface? Interfaces in C# are providing as a replacement of multiple inheritance. Interface contain all object methods inherited by classes and structures, which must provide an implementation for each interface members declared. The keyword interface create an interface. They are public by default. So here is an example with name interface demo, where we have two classes with name father and mother, where child class is going to inherit both the mother and father. Now next question comes, what is the difference between interface and abstract classes? Abstract classes and interfaces are similar because both contain abstract methods and implement by inheriting class. However, here are certain differences between abstract classes and interface as shown. Interface support multiple inheritance while abstract classes does not support multiple inheritance. Interface does not contain data member, abstract class contain data member, interface does not contain constructors, and interface contains only incomplete member. In interface cannot have access modified by default, everything is assumed by public, whereas in abstract class can contain access modifier for sub function and property. Member of interface cannot be static, and in abstract classes contain constructors and members can be static in this. Next comes, what happens if the inherited interface have conflicting methods names? We need to tell the compiler which class function we want to implement. For such cases, we need to use name of the interface during the implementation of a function. So here is example in which we have interfaces A and B, and the class test is inheriting A and B both in interfaces, where now a class interface test in which we want to access, but we are accessing them by their interface name, so that we can call both the functions, hello of interface A and hello of interface B. Next question is, what is partial classes? Partial class is a special feature of C#. It provides a special ability to implement the functionality of a single class into multiple files, and all these files are combined into a single class file when the application is compiled. A partial class is created by using partial keyword. So here is the example of partial class, where we are using the keyword partial, but when the compiler will compile the function this class, the class will be single class, which is employee. Now rule for partial classes are, all the partial class definitions must be in the same assembly and namespace. What is the construct or chaining in C#? Construct chaining is a way to connect two or more classes in a relationship as inheritance. In constructor chaining, every child class constructor is mapped to a parent class constructor implicitly by base keyword. So when you create an instance of the class, it will call the parents class constructor. Without it, inheritance is not possible. Here is the example given. Next question comes, what is the difference between the array copy to and array clone? Array clone method creates a shallow copy of an array. A shallow copy of an array copies only the elements of the array, whether they are reference types or value type, but it does not copy the object that the reference refer to. The reference in the new array point to the same object that is the reference to the original array point. Whereas in copy to, static member of the array class copies a section of the array to another array. The copy to method copies all the elements of an array to another one-dimension array. Then the question can come, can multiple catch block be executed in C#? We can use multiple catch block with the try statement. Each catch block can catch a different exceptions. The following code example shows how to implement multiple catch statements with a single try statement. Here class myClient, where method we are using try and two different type of catch blocks, where in one we are using divide by zero exception and other one is exception. So finally is the finally block. This is the example of multiple catch. Next is difference between throw exception and throw clause. In throw, the original exception stack trace will be retained to keep the original stack trace information. The correct syntax is throw without specifying an exception. In throw EX, the original stack trace information will get override and you will lose the original exception. Stack trace means throw EX reset the stack trace. So here is the example for that. How you can explain the use of using statement in C# in detail. The using statement is used to control the uses of one or more resources that are being used within the program. The resources are continuously consumed and released. The main function of this statement is to manage unused resources and release them automatically. Let us see an example wherein A would print first since the system resources allocated first. So here is the example of class demo where we are using system resources as a interface. We are taking object of this and here the output would be A, C and B because we are using system resource for A first. Hope you understand this. Now come describe the C# dispose of the method in detail. Dispose of method. The dispose of method release the unused resources by an object of the class. Unused resources like files, data, connection, etc. This method is declared in the interface called iDisable, which is implemented by the class by defining the interface iDisposable body. Dispose method rules are as follows. If dispose is not called, the finalize method should be implemented. After calling the dispose method, the garbage collector suppress finalize method must be called to avert and the finalize method and avoid unnecessary garbage collector. Instance method may throw the object disposed exceptions. An object with the previously called dispose method may not be reused. So these are some rules for the dispose method. Now explain in detail the finalize method in C#. Finalize method. The finalize method is defined in the object class which is used for cleanup activities. The method is generally called by the garbage collector wherever the reference of an object is not used for a long time. Garbage collector frees that managed resources automatically, but if you want to free the unused resources like file handle, data connection, etc., then you have to implement the finalize method manually. So here is the example for this. This is finalize method, also called destructor to the class. So here is my class tilde with my class. This is the destructor. Also, this is called finalize. Now, the last but not least, the question comes, difference between dispose and finalize. Dispose. It is used to free unmanaged resources like files, database, connection, etc. at any time. Explicitly, it is called by user code and the class which is implementing dispose method must have to implement iDisposable interface. It belongs to iDisposable interface. It's implemented by implementing iDisposable interface dispose method. Whereas in finalize, it can be used to free unmanaged resources. Internally, it is called by garbage collector and cannot be used User code, it belongs to object class. It's implemented with the help of destructor in C++ and C#. So these are some questions which you have to prepare. You should be prepared before going for interviews. I hope you enjoy the video, but we will continue this series and we will come with the next part, that is part 3 for the question answers. I hope you enjoy the series. If you like it, please press the like button and thanks for watching. Bye bye. See you.